Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining the ACA Small Business Bootcamp and Resource Collective for this Thursday morning. I'm Robert Theobald, the Small Business Ombudsman and Vice President of Small Business Services for the Arizona Commerce Authority. We're excited to be here today. We've got another great session planned. I want to first, again, start by thanking all of our community partners. We could not do these sessions without these community partners, their expertise, their content. And this is just a small list of all the community partners. We've had over 80 community partners help participate in the bootcamp series. So the ACA Small Business Bootcamp and Resource Collective is designed to help small businesses of less than 20 employees work through the COVID crisis and return stronger than ever. It is a statewide initiative supported by our community partners, and the bootcamp is going to continue through December. We're going to take a couple-week break for the holidays and then return back in January. So the Small Business Bootcamp and Resource Collective website is a great tool. This is the site where you went on to register for today's session. And on that website, you can find all of our previous sessions as well. We have over 88 sessions listed on there. We recorded them and uploaded their slide decks, so you can go back and review that information, or if there's one that you missed, you can go back and watch it and for the first time, and that is accessible to you on this website. Additionally, on the website, you'll find the Resource Collective, and the Resource Collective is the place where we house all of our tools and resources provided by our community partners. This is a great resource tool for everybody. And to give you an example, this is a small list of some of the guides and tools that are available for you on that Resource Collective. Whether it's a restaurant reopening guide, unemployment insurance, safe retail, construction industry safety recommendations, manufacturing, salons, etc. So great resources there. So jumping ahead, looking at next week, we have two great sessions. The first one is on Tuesday, of course, with the lead entrepreneurs. They have presented in the past, and they're presenting again for us and talking about maintaining relevancy with customers during COVID-19. And then on Thursday, we have becoming a more effective leader. Both sessions are going to be great. We've got on the more effective leader, we have another returning speaker as well. And so please join in for those sessions. Again, next Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. Also, some quick updates. Every other week, we have our Empowering Rural Communities webinars. You can find those on azcommerce.com on our website, and link to those webinars and register for them if you're interested in those rural community webinars. Additionally, here's the link for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. This program is still ongoing. It is still available if you have not received any loans. This is a loan program to help you work through the pandemic and return stronger. So there are funding there. As well, I've added some links, the PPP loan forgiveness FAQ. There's been some updates since our PPP session last week, and so I wanted to remind everybody to take a look at the FAQ page. As well, this is the link for the Streamlined PPP loan forgiveness. It came out last Friday for loans under $50,000. It is a very streamlined process, one page, don't have to enter in a lot of data and calculations. So for those that receive loans under $50,000, it's really exciting to see this loan forgiveness application. Quick reminder as well for the state's COVID-19 information and resource page, arizonatogether.org. And then another quick reminder for our Arizona Business Resources page during COVID-19. You can find that azcommerce.com/COVID-19. So as we've talked about in the past, ACA has a number of programs for small businesses. Our small business services can help with navigating through the SBA, navigating SBDC, SCORE, other local banking contacts, and other local resources for your locality. We work with all the different resources throughout the state. So regardless of what community you're in, if you have questions, reach out to us and we can get you connected with the resources in your area. Additionally, our workforce division works across the whole state as well, and they can help you whether you're looking to hire people or upskill your employees. They have a number of different programs that can help small businesses in those ways. And then our Arizona Manufacturing Extension Partnership, Arizona MEP, works with manufacturers throughout the state to help them grow and strengthen their business, and they are a great resource. Additionally, at this time, there's a lot of people looking to start a new business, start their own business. They're tired of the corporate world and want to start their own thing. And we have our small business checklist. It's an interactive online resource to help work through some of the commonly requested information at local, state, and federal levels. You can see mentioning in step 2, there's licensing, registration, and compliance information. You can find business planning or procurement and marketing opportunities. So there's lots of great tools and resources on that checklist as you work to start a business or make a major pivot into a new product line in your existing business. So today we want to introduce our speaker, Lisa Card. She is a Center Director of the Mohave Community College SBDC based in Kingman. So we're excited to have her with us. So Lisa, I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to you and let you share your screen.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for having me today, Robert. And I love working with the ACA. I'm going to set up real quick here my screen. Are you seeing the right screen, Robert? Can you confirm?
Yep, you are.
All right. Great. Thank you. All right. So just setting up here. Cool. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa Card, and I am the Center Director for Mohave Community College SBDC. I have worked with hundreds of businesses over the last 9 years with the SBDC. I love working with small businesses or those that are looking at starting a business. I have 27 years of experience. I've owned 4 different businesses. The industries are manufacturing, construction, accounting, transportation. So, you know, it's pretty vast. At the SBDC, we're always switching our hats, you know, as we work with different clients. There's so many different industries. So I love what I do. Thank you for having me today. All right, moving on. Let's see. I got to make this work here, my slides. Okay, cool. So there's a little bit about me. So we are a part of a national network called America's SBDC. There are over 1,000 SBDCs throughout the country. We are Arizona's go-to resource to start, grow, and transition a business. Our services are no cost to our clients. It's your federal tax dollars at work for you. So we are a grant-funded program. Arizona SBDCs this year alone has assisted in over 200 new business starts, and as well as working with existing businesses. All right, so today's topics, we're going to talk about the importance of bookkeeping, the responsibility as a business owner, and then options for your bookkeeping, and then your bookkeeping task timeline. So we'll go ahead and move forward. All right, so I want to make this session interactive. So I know it's early, but if you can go to the comments, and if you have been in business for less than a year, drop a 1 in the comment box. And then if you have been in business for over a year, drop a 2 in the comment box. And if you're just looking to start a business soon, can you drop a 3? All right, so we have a lot of 1s, we have some 2s, and we do have some 3s. Okay, 2.3. Awesome. Okay, all right. So it looks like we have a very diverse group here. You know, I want to tell you about why bookkeeping is so important. Thank you. A lot of twos going on. With hundreds of new businesses starting just this year and then every year, right? Many small business owners do not understand the benefits of timely bookkeeping or the requirements. So the basic purpose of bookkeeping is to accumulate the information on your business income and expenses in a manner that's useful to you, the owner. So let me ask you, we're going to use the comment box again. Who are the outside users of your financial business information? Do you guys have any ideas of what that would look like? Who would want your financial information? Banks, thank you, Francesca. CPAs, yep. Investors and lenders, absolutely. What about vendors that you're seeking credit from? IRS, yep. So suppliers, vendors, program coordinators, business incubator, great job, you guys. Absolutely. Angel investors. So all these people are interested in your financial information, but believe it or not, the most important user of this information is going to be you, the business owner. So bookkeeping is important for both legal and financial management purposes. So by keeping accurate records in a timely manner, your business can get a snapshot of its health in the form of financial statements such as income statements, balance sheets, cash flow statements, and more. These financial statements, they tell the health of your business. Are you taking a loss? Breaking even, which you're not in business to break even or take a loss, or are you making a profit? Those are really important things that you need to know often. Okay, so did you know that according to SCORE and an article written in June 2020 by Preferred CFO states that over 82% of startups and small businesses, they failed due to poor cash flow management. You don't need to fall victim to this trend. If you stay on top of your bookkeeping task, you have a better chance to succeed. So the purpose of this class is not to turn you all into accountants or bookkeepers or to teach you how to do the bookkeeping. Our goal today is to show you how financial information helps you manage your business better and your responsibilities as a business owner, and also to increase your chances of being profitable. All right. Moving on. So, the IRS. So the IRS website, it has a page dedicated to record keeping, which I recommend that you take a look at. It's not too brutal. There are legal requirements as a business owner for you keeping books and records. So the federal government requires that you maintain records to support the dollar amounts that you enter on your tax returns. Bankers, lenders, insurance companies, just to name a few, require that you keep those records as well. I'm going to tell you a quick story. So as a bookkeeper, I had a client that gave me an egg box, just like the one you see here, every month. And it was full of cash register tapes, invoices, payroll stubs, bank statements, credit card receipts, credit card statements, deposit information, and more, all thrown together in an egg box, literally that big, full of paperwork. It was a mess, but the client knew she had a monthly after the fact bookkeeping service that would sort through all of the mess and code it all and put it in the right accounts reconcile her bank statements, do her monthly sales tax reports, do her quarterly payroll reports, and produce financial statements every month. So even though that was a mess, she was in good shape. But I know small businesses that keep a box just like this. They throw everything in it and they wait till the end of the year before they sort or do any type of bookkeeping. Now, I want you to go back to your comment box. I want you to type yes or no in the comments if you think they will remember the whole year of income and expenses to produce accurate sets of books. So can you tell me now, let's say on your right, Steve, no chance. It's not going to happen. Here's the thing, as business owners, let's say you take a $500 owner draw and you needed $100 for petty cash, and you just went ahead and you did your job. You just stayed busy and you kept things going, right? So at the end of the year, or even at the end of the month, sometimes if you don't make a note of that, you're going to be paying taxes on a $500 owner's draw, and you're not going to be getting the benefits of using that $100 deduction that went towards your business as an expense. And that's just one item that a lot of people miss, and they end up paying taxes on that. So, all right, well, thank you for your answers. Let's move on. So let's see. So I have been told by clients and by business owners that sometimes going through all this mess, they just round up or they round down on their income and expenses to give to their tax preparer. So let me tell you one thing, and I don't mean to sound alarming, but audits happen, and they happen to small businesses. So I'm bound to client counselor confidentiality as an SBDC business analyst, but without giving much information, I have a client here in Mohave County that is a small business owner, and she has been audited the last 4 years, 4 years in a row, partially due to messes like this. And the only way she's going to get out of that is by changing something, right? Probably her bookkeeping practices. All right, so bookkeeping options. You have choices of bookkeeping options. First, you may want to hire an in-house bookkeeper that works full-time or part-time in your business, depending on how busy your business is. I do have to caution you. I have seen clients hire family members or individuals that have no accounting background, which can lead to huge mistakes on your books, resulting in tax problems and cash flow issues, embezzlement, and more. When you're hiring a bookkeeper, we suggest that you look for a candidate that has a certificate in bookkeeping or QuickBooks, accounting, or a degree. And experience is also going to be really important. Good references are key to their character. So those things are really important when you're looking for someone to take care of your finances. A second option is to hire an after the fact bookkeeper or an accountant. The after the fact bookkeeping allows a business owner to throw everything into the egg box and really manage their business, right, and their cash themselves. But they want somebody to record the details like income and expenses when the month or the quarter is over. Here at Mohave SBDC, we suggest that clients, they look for an accountant or bookkeeper on their local Chamber of Commerce website. We find that on the members page, you can find all different types of services in businesses like bookkeepers or accountants. And most of the time, the chamber members, they usually have a strong interest in their community's success in their small businesses. So starting there is a great way to find a reputable accountant or bookkeeper. And then some business owners prefer to do their own bookkeeping, usually using software like what you're seeing on the screen. As you can see, there are many bookkeeping software options, but my tip to you is to check with your tax preparer to see what options they recommend. So what bookkeeping software do they use? So you'll usually find that many tax preparers are QuickBooks certified. So QuickBooks has been around for a long time. A lot of people use it. It is the primary accounting software that's actually still sold on the shelves, like at Staples and such. So yeah, let's move on. I'm just gonna look at my notes here real quick. So yeah, there are a lot of, thank you, Jay. There are, your Excel spreadsheets that you can use, cash books, to create that ledger to keep track of your books. Absolutely, you can do that. Okay, so using a bookkeeper or an accountant. So here's a list of the services that a bookkeeper or an accountant can provide you. Many business owners are busy working in their business and find that hiring this service saves time, money, and it provides peace of mind. Monthly bookkeeping services, the charges can range between $50 to $200 a month, or depending on your business needs. Most of the time, they'll give you a quote based on your transactions. So how many transactions they have to enter into their system. But if you look here, they do the actual bookkeeping. They do a system setup, with whatever accounting software they use that's customized for your business. They prepare your income taxes, sales taxes. They provide seasonal services, like let's say I had a client that was a seasonal business and he did not have the accounting software to do the invoicing for his business. So I would do the accounts receivables for him. Your financial statements, which are really important for you, your payroll processing, and then your payroll tax reporting, which is a big deal. All right, so bookkeeping software. If you decide to do your own bookkeeping, here are some suggestions of what to look for in an accounting software. So first of all, you're going to want to think about the ease of use. So some softwares, they sync directly to your business checking account and they code your transactions. And then you want to think about, how steep is the learning curve? Do I need to take some classes to use the software, or accounting classes to learn what I'm doing? Which, I have found that there are people that are using bookkeeping software and they have no clue about accounting. They don't understand some of the basic foundations of it, and so they tend to make a lot of mistakes. But you can avoid that. There are a lot of online non-credit classes that you can take. We, on our website page, mohave.edu/SBDC, under resources, you'll find it says Ed to Go, and they have very affordable, like QuickBooks classes, Sage classes for like $100, and they're live and they're very flexible schedules for like $100 or less. So, you know, there are a lot of options out there. And then another thing is you want to ask the question, can this software be customized to meet your business needs? Is it secure? That's a huge one. Will it accommodate growth as you're growing? Are tutorials available or built into the software? That's a wonderful benefit. And how long has the software manufacturer been in business? That's going to be important too. Whoa, sorry guys. Okay, are we back to, yeah. I scrolled too fast. So these are some of the things that you want to think about before you purchase software. Also, there are a lot of affordable softwares out there. You know, I know, and I hate to reflect back to QuickBooks so much because there are a lot of different softwares, but they seem to be the leading software that's out there. They have deals where, you know, it's less than $20 a month. And sometimes they have specials where for your first 3 months, it's like $10. You can't beat that. And they've been in business a long time. So ask those questions. It's important. All right. So let's get to some of the tasks. So for daily tasks, we're going to go over what the business owners are responsible for, whether they're doing your own bookkeeping or hiring it out. Okay, so these tasks are vital to manage your cash flow as well as preventing account takeover. So I have a client who last month discovered she had a large amount of money missing from her bank account, her business checking account. Her account was not just compromised, but it was called taken over by an unknown person. But because she checks her bank balances every day, and since she caught it in the same day, her account was restored within that week. I think it took 3 days. You can imagine if you're not checking your account and time passes, it makes it that much harder to get restoration in a quick and timely manner. So it is important to check your bank balance every day, cash on hand, sales and cash receipts, and all monies paid by cash and check. So you see this little most wanted poster on here. This is Phyllis the Fisher, and you know, he is wanted. He's a thief. He's an online thief. October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Homeland Security and the Federal Trade Commission offer wonderful resources like a free publication called Cybersecurity for Small Business. And these topics are really important. You and your staff should be aware of the possibilities of what can happen and how to mitigate those potential problems quickly and in a timely fashion. So my client that I just mentioned, she called her bank the same day, and the bank was all over it. They did a great job and to restore her account. But you know, every bank is different, and you're at the mercy of that bank. And if you're not doing your due diligence and a cyber takeover happens to your account, you can be in trouble financially. So some of the weekly tasks are payroll, taxes and reports due to the government agencies, document and file receipts. I think that this part is so overlooked. keeping everything organized, I know it's a little extra work, but if you keep copies of all your invoices, cash receipts, and cash payments, and add them to organized filing systems, it's just easy to reflect and go back to if you need something. Okay, so weekly task continued. So you want to prepare and send out invoices. Be sure to include payment terms in the invoices and consider offering early payment incentives to get paid on time. This is really important to get paid on time because that's how you're going to pay your bills, right? Pay your vendors every week, sign the checks. So it sounds weird to say pay your vendors and sign the checks. I have actually worked for someone who I would cut checks for, and he did not like to sign the checks. He didn't want to stop and sign the checks. And I was just like, what are we doing? So take your time and be mindful that it is very important to make sure your suppliers are paid on time. And then review your projected cash flow. So create a statement showing your current cash position, your expected cash receipts, and cash payments for the upcoming week. Monthly task. So I am going to make this screen a little bit bigger so I can read it better. So every month, you should balance your checkbook and reconcile your bank account. It's very important. You know, balancing your petty cash, review sales tax, and make payments. You definitely want to avoid the penalties and fees of paying your sales tax report late. It's a two-process penalty. So penalties and fees with the Arizona Department of Revenue. It's just not worth it, guys. Review past due receivables. So at the beginning of every month, sending out a friendly reminder to your customers and clients or anyone else that owes you money is going to be really important. You want to stay on top of that. That's how you're going to pay your bills, right? And then you're going to want to look at your inventory. So you want to reorder your products that sell quickly and identify others that are moving slowly, and then some that may need to just be marked down or discontinued. And that should be done monthly. You're also going to want to process your payroll. You're going to want to make sure that there's your taxes, your Social Security, Medicare, disability taxes, you know, in the appropriate accounts, because there is a liability on the business owners end if they have employees to make sure that they're matching those taxes and there's money there to match them. And then you're going to want to review an actual profit and loss versus your budget. So if you don't have a budget prepared, compare your current profit and loss with the same prior period year-to-date statements with last year. So if you need help to review this, and maybe I didn't explain that right, contact your local SBDC business counselor, a SCORE mentor, your accountant, and sit down with them and talk to them about what that looks like for you, because it's going to be really important. If you're a new startup, we had a lot of new businesses on here today. You're going to have to figure out, am I a seasonal business? Am I pretty stable, you know, every month? So this is going to be really important for you guys to start paying attention to, especially as you go into year 2. Okay, let me try to get this to work here. All right, quarterly task. So every quarter, if you have payroll, you have quarterly tax reports that you will need to complete, as well as quarterly taxes. So small business owners, and I was just talking to some realtors the other day, and they're small business owners, they're independent agents, right? A lot of them didn't realize that they could actually pay estimated taxes every quarter to like lower their year-end tax burden. So that's really something to think about as a small business owner. And sometimes we don't think about that until the end of the year and you have this huge tax burden. All right. And then we have your annual tasks. So, all right, I had to look at my watch. Let's see. So you want to review your past due receivables, right? So checking your unpaid receivables, what your clients have not paid you. And you need to make a decision, right? Should I send these unpaid invoices to a collection agency, which they charge anywhere between, depending on the amount of the invoice, they charge anywhere from 15 to upwards to 50% to try to collect on those invoices? Or do you write them off for a tax reduction? That's something that you would want to talk to your tax preparer about and see which one would benefit you most. You'll want to review your inventory, calculate the values of the items that are not sold, then use the unsellable inventory as a deduction for your year-end taxes. You'll want to complete your W-2s and your 1099s for your employees and your independent contractors. And then you'll want to review and approve your year-end financial reports before you give them to your accountant to do your tax reporting, right? So you want to make sure that those are right. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up with some bookkeeping tips. So keep personal and business finances separate. Just do it. I don't care if you're a sole proprietor. Trust me, it makes life easier. And you'll be better off financially. Automate as much as possible. When I got out of college, I was helping a client and everything was on ledgers. It was an old business from the 60s and they literally had huge ledgers with the pencils, mechanical pencils, because those were the skinniest, right? But I helped them move into QuickBooks and they were able to automate, and it makes life easier. Keep thorough records. So when you're writing out a check, put something in the notes. Trust me, it will help you. You'll go back and go, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I wrote that in the notes. Now I know what this is for. Set reminders for deadlines. So as we went over your daily task, your weekly task, your monthly task, your quarterly task, your year-end task, it's so helpful to put in the calendar some deadline reminders so that you can stay on top of things. Don't forget to leave that audit trail. Go to the IRS website for the record keeping, just to read. They're not long passages. It's really important to just kind of see, what are they asking for and what do they think that I should keep? Do it. It'll help you. Track your business expenses. So important. Money goes fast, especially when you're spending it. So just track those business expenses often. And then finally, keep your books at the top of your priority. Trust me, you won't regret it. It'll be worth your time in the long run. All right, so let's open up for Q&A. Thank you so much for attending. I'm so excited that we were able to give this presentation today. Please check us out on Facebook, Mohave SBDC. And if you would like, you can go to the azsbdc.net website for more trainings. Thank you so much, Robert, for this time. Let's see if we have any questions here.
All right, we got one question in the Q&A, Lisa. If you want to, it's from Yasmin. It says, the inventory you write off as a deduction, can you reuse it for the next year's sales cycle?
Absolutely. Yep.
There was a thank you as well.
Okay, and then what is Mark saying here? You may want to see something about the exit strategy. So, when you have a business, you're not thinking about what your exit strategy is. I'm starting a business, right? But if you are looking at starting a business and it becomes profitable to where you could sell it, you will need at least 3 years of profitable financial statements with tax returns in order to sell that business, especially if they need any type of lending. The banks will require that. And if it's not profitable, it's probably not going to happen. Great point, Mark. Thank you.
Excellent. So let's see, we got another question. That's a thank you. Please post your questions up. We got some time for some Q&A with Lisa about some basic bookkeeping. Going back to the records, you mentioned that for selling a business, but Lisa, through this whole COVID crisis with PPP and EIDL and some of the grants that are out there, how often have you seen businesses not be able to take advantage of those programs because of poor document retention, poor bookkeeping?
Right. So if you're not keeping good financials and you're wanting one of these disaster loans, it's going to be hard for you to get that. But let me just say that if you are in a position where you feel like a loan could benefit you, but you don't need it for overhead, you need it to pivot your business, you need to make some changes, right? Change up your business model, what you're offering. You can submit that to the SBA, apply for the EIDL loan, and let them know, in order for me to stay in business, this is what I need to do. I mean, the interest rates are just so low for these EIDL loans. It's worth reaching out to them and discussing, what are my options? What does this look like? And, a business counselor with the SBDC, SCORE, your accountant, they can help you frame what that would look like and putting that content together.
Excellent. Another question we have is, how long should you keep your financial records?
Yeah, go to the IRS website. I promise you, they actually have a schedule. I should have put it up there. And it actually has dates on how long you have to keep certain things. Trust me, go to the IRS record keeping website.
So another question is, if you're an owner, a small business owner, small firm, no employees, as the owner, do you need to do payroll taxes?
No, not unless you're doing payroll for yourself. So most of the time, if you're just a sole proprietor or an LLC with one member, you're taking owner's draws. But if you're looking to reduce your tax burden at the end of the year, you can make quarterly payments to reduce the tax burden. So you might want to look at doing something like that.
Okay. So we've had multiple questions come up about the slides and the information. This, just a reminder, this presentation is being recorded and will be posted on our website later today. And so will the slide deck. So you'll be able to review this information anytime you want and as many times as you want. So that will be available. We have another question in here. It says, what AZ local banks are good for small business with low fees, connectivity to QuickBooks, etc.?
Well, you know, we work with all the lenders, right? So if I was just to throw out a couple names at you, it wouldn't really be fair. So what I will say is, just as if you were shopping general liability insurance, which I hope that you all shop, you just don't go with the first one. I would say you shop the banks. There are some banks that have very low fees and very minimal balances to keep in your checking account, while there's others with very large fees and very large balances that you have to keep before you start paying fees, additional fees. So you have to shop that around. And with the pandemic, there's been a lot of changes in the banks. So right now, I know that there has been some different changes with some of the banks. So call around, at least get 3. Find out what, 3 different banks are going to offer you.
Right. Lisa, we got a really good question in here. I'm not going to mention the person that posted it, but it's a really good question. I think a lot of small business owners may be in this same situation. It says, I am doing a real should not do in my business. I need to pull apart my business and personal financials. I have had them mixed. I have had constant outflow, no inflow, but I am launching to bring in refunds. How do I back up and pull it apart? I keep records, separate records, but it is all out of my personal bank account, not a business bank account, not a business account. Oh, how do I bring in funds? Not refunds, bring in funds.
Okay. So how do you bring in funds? So Robert, that was a long question and I've only had 1 cup of coffee, so I apologize. Can you give me that question one more time?
Yeah, I'm going to summarize it.
Please.
The business has been mixing their bookkeeping, their business and their personal finances, just using their personal bank account for all their business needs, and then outflowing a lot of funds for their business. How can they separate the two at this point and get things straightened out?
Yeah. So your best friend is going to be bank statements. So many of the banks, they want you to opt out of receiving your bank statement via paper form. But, as a former bookkeeper and a business owner, I have found, don't opt out of that. Have them mail you your bank statements or print them out. The bank statements are going to tell the story, right, of all your ins and outs. And then you'll be able to figure out the cash stuff after the fact. But use your bank statement to guide you through the process. So look at the income and go through and write down, was this business related or was it personal, right? Because the business is, you need to know what your owner investment is, and you'll figure that out really quick as you start to tally those numbers. And then under expenses, go through and start to mark out, was this fuel? Was this for materials? Was this utilities? And is the am I operating out of my home, right? Or do I have a brick and mortar store? So these types of things are going to be really important. For the bank statements are going to help you out a lot. And that's where you will start to divide things.
Excellent, thank you. Another question is just, can you talk a little bit about lines of credit and how to account for those in the bookkeeping?
Yeah, so lines of credit, a lot of lenders that offer lines of credit to their small business owners. A lot of banks will require that at least 1 month out of 12 that line of credit be down to 0. And if it is not, they can cut you off and demand for that to be the balance to be brought down to 0 within 30 days, and they will not renew that line of credit.
Excellent, thank you. So we got one last question before we wrap up. And I think it's a perfect question to wrap up with. And it says, are Zoom meetings with AZ SBDC representatives available if we have questions about our specific businesses?
Yes. So with our colleges, most of them being closed throughout the state, we are offering Zoom meetings, phone meetings, and then some of our colleges in the state are open for clients to come in, but most of them are still in phase 1 and closed. But definitely, we've been counseling a lot of clients.
Excellent. Thank you, Lisa. We want to thank Lisa for her presentation today. Just a reminder about the SBDC network across the state. There are offices and representatives covering all 15 counties. So if you can find them on azsbdc.net, that's the state-wide homepage, and then each college, community college where they're located has their own websites, or you can reach out to me here at the ACA and I can get you in contact directly with each center that corresponds to where you're from. They are a great resource for you. So definitely take advantage of that. We work very closely with them and support them in their efforts. So as we wrap up, just a reminder, Tuesday of next week and Thursday of next week, 9 a.m., we have additional sessions. For those that are new, we appreciate you joining us. And every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m., we'll have a new session with new content to help small businesses. So thank you for joining us today. Please have a safe and wonderful weekend, and we will see everybody on Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you.